You know, I love VeggieTales. Who doesn't? It's humorous, it's biblical, it's child-friendly, it's absolutely wonderful. And you know what else? I love Charles Dickens' classic holiday novel, A Christmas Carol. Again, who doesn't? It's critical, it's dark, it's heartwarming, it's also absolutely wonderful. However, when I think of the word Easter, and if those three things combined into an Easter special, I was like, oh boy, I can't wait to see how the Veggies reenact the original novel and making this into an Easter special. And boy, would this be good to review. VeggieTales and Easter Carol. After the events of the Star of Christmas, the story takes place in London where Ebenezer Nezer feels lonely at his egg factory and finds a way to make his grandmother stay alive. Why? Because she died after 113 years of living. So the only way to keep her alive is to take down St. Bart's Church and build an amusement park, Easterland. But his workers, Cavis and Miller, needed to find a plan to stop this from happening. And that all changes when one night, his grandmother's vision tells him that he missed the point, and at the stroke of midnight, he will receive a second visitor to help him understand the true meaning of Easter. Thus it enters a music box angel named Hope, and takes Ebenezer through the past, present, and future, and showing him that Easter is not only about the eggs and decorations and candy, but also celebrates Jesus' life, crucifixion, and resurrection. Ebenezer accepts his grandmother's passing and tries to stop the demolition of the church, especially saving Reverend Gilbert's son Edmund from being very sick. Okay, so what do I like about this special that has sense nowadays that those three things combine and become the ultimate staple in Easter specials to show to your kids? Yeah, like I guess that some people really show it to their kids and they always love the series, but it could be weak for some critics. But what's my matter with an Easter Carol? I can tell you in 3 words. A real decent effort. Mostly because it's surprising why this is a sequel to the Star of Christmas and do have some return characters like Cavis and Miller played by Bob and Larry, Edmund Gilbert played by Junior Asparagus, Seymour played by Pa Grape, and very ironically, Ebenezer Nezer. Yeah, I understand that the premise in this special is focused on Ebenezer discovering what the hope of Easter is really about. Also, I can't blame him, because unlike the Star of Christmas, he only appears for brief seconds from beginning to end. That's really freaking obvious. But the one character that really makes this special worth watching is Hope, voiced and sung by Grammy Award-winning artist Rebecca St. James. When I was like the age of 6 or 7, I first watched the special on the DVD, and I had no idea that she was in this. And when I saw her, I was glued to her. I freaking love her biblical conflict, her design, her generosity, and of course, her song through the life of Jesus as told through the stained glass windows. I just wish it was doing more humor like this, the biblical humor. If there was anything that had to focus on the characters that I was really getting into, I just decently find the characters that memorable, or that funny, or even designed that uniquely. I surprisingly don't have a problem with the dark/dramatic stuff either, and maybe some of the dramatic stuff made me get teary-eyed every time just to think of it. Yeah, sometimes it could be dark and intense just to show the little kids this. But you know what's really dark and intense? Take a glance at this clip. There's an explosion in VeggieTales. Who directed this? Michael Bay? I mean, sure just came out of nowhere for 5 seconds, but it's so utterly intense for the younger audience. If I had a question for Phil and Mike who created VeggieTales, I would have asked, why wouldn't you give credit to Michael Bay for the explosion in that clip? I mean, Michael Bay's the master of explosions in every action film, and he didn't direct that explosion in this special? And don't get me wrong, the songs I've heard throughout this special are unbelievably delightful. I mean, the first 4 songs I've heard, Another Easter Day, 113 Years Ago, You Didn't Listen Ebenezer, and Boyd's, I consider them as decent musical flicks, I suppose. But the one song that's considered one of the best that Rebecca St. James has sung is Hope's Song. At times like this, it is dramatic, soothing, and tear-jerking every time I hear it. No wonder that this song in An Easter Carol is my favorite musical flick that Rebecca has ever sung. What more can I say? The finished production date was Christmas of 2003, and it surprised the market by being one of the best-selling VeggieTales video releases in the year 2004. I guess it explains a lot. On the whole, I can guarantee that this was a worthy sequel to The Star of Christmas, and does have a way of delivering its strong message of what the meaning of Easter is about. It had a good story, some touching moments, some funny moments, dramatic moments, top it off with memorable characters, delightful songs, and a great inspiration from the crew who put all their time and energy to putting those three things to combine as we remember them when we were children. And you have an Easter special that captures all the humor, all the biblical values, and all the joy as we felt as children, watching how the magic becomes in this delightful flick. Quite honestly, even if I'm a VeggieTales fan or a fan of the classic Dickens novel, I still hold this special nearly deep in my childhood. I give this special 7 out of 10. Seriously, what is up with that intense explosion that Michael Bay didn't direct?